Mazda CX-8 fills the gap between a large SUV, for example the Mazda CX-9, and a mid-size SUV, the Mazda CX-5. The CX-8 is still a 7-seater, but it's a little bit smaller than the CX-9, which just makes it more usable. I'm in the CX-8 Sport front-wheel drive petrol version, which is really well priced, comes in at just under $40,000 and competes with cars like the Hyundai Santa Fe. Here's how it did for this week's family review. For a more detailed review, head to the CarsGuide website, and if you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe for more videos. The CX-8 is a good looking car, mainly because it's not as big and bulky as other 7-seaters. It's a streamlined design and it's a classic looking car that is wearing well and still looks modern. Inside, it's all very smooth and black, and it's got a really nice, quite padded dash up here, which instantly makes things feel more premium, and it blends seamlessly into the center console, which is one of the more unfussy designs going around. I do think that the multimedia screen looks a tiny bit dated, the way it pops up out of the dash here, but everything else is lovely. The CX-8 Sport has fabric seats, but it's not like the fabric you even got just a few years ago. This is really slick and super comfortable to sit on. There's a leather steering wheel and a leather gear stick, so your touch points still have luxury, and it just makes you feel good driving it. You get 2 cup holders in the front, a pretty swish center storage bin. You get a spot for keys and a phone that's nice and large, and a bottle holder in all 4 doors. The front is spacious too, so while it's not as big as a CX-9 on the exterior, on the interior it still feels quite large, and even the taller members of my family had nothing to complain about with headspace or leg space. My 2 children, aged 6 and 8, had loads of room in the back seat here, and you can also fit a 3rd child seat in the middle if you need to. I did it with 2 boosters and a baby capsule. I'm 161 centimeters and I've got so much space that I'd be super happy sitting back here for a long journey, and I think other adults and taller teenagers will be fine back here too. You can move these seats forward to give the back row a bit more room if you need. Rear passengers get 2 cup holders in the center armrest, plus their own climate control, which my kids are super happy with over summer. And it's easy to get into the rear seats. The second row moves forward, so you've got plenty of space to work with. Now, I know I'm little, but I'm quite cozy back here. I've got a lot of room, and that's because this second row does move forward. If it was all the way back, I'd obviously have less leg space, but I still think small children will be comfy back here, even if taller adults or other teenagers don't want to be in this back row for a long journey. Third row passengers get 2 cup holders, 1 on each side, and a small storage bit as well. If you're not using those 2 seats, the boot is huge, a whopping 742 litres, which is measured to the roof. It's a really good height off the ground, so you won't hurt your back loading things in and out, and it will easily fit a double pram. If you are using these 2 seats, the boot shrinks, but it will still fit groceries or school bags, and you can even fit a small suitcase up on the side. Driving in the Mazda CX-8 is lovely. It feels a lot more agile than you would think for a car this size, and it also handles really well, plus it's smooth. I'm in the 2-wheel drive petrol version, but you can also get it in all-wheel drive and a diesel version, so you can just go through the range and choose what's best for you. There is a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder engine, which means it gets up hills without too much effort, and it cruises along highways nicely. I just also feel confident in it because it's a Mazda. Parking is quite good, even though it's on the larger kind of end of cars. There's a really good reverse parking camera. It's quite wide, and there are guidelines to help you out. Fuel fuel consumption is a claimed 8.1 litres per 100 Ks, which is a fair bit higher than the 6 litres per 100 Ks that you'd use if it was a diesel. For technology, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay come standard, so you can easily plug your phone into one of the USB points for instant access to your phone's main apps via the multimedia system. This only sometimes works as a touchscreen though. It works as a touchscreen when you're in park, but if you're in one of the other gears, you actually have to control the multimedia with this knob. I think that could do with a little updating because most other cars are all touchscreens. The sound in here is good though, so turn your favourite songs up for an instant stress buster. And the safety in here is comprehensive with auto emergency braking, recross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring, and lane change warnings. There are 2 ISOFIX points to fix kids' car seats in, and there are 5 top tether points, which means you can actually put a kid's car seat in every seat in the back. The Mazda CX-8 is a great family car that will fit families who have up to 5 children. And it works especially well for smaller families who just want the option of having those 2 spare seats in the back just in case. It drives really nicely, has great interior space, and it doesn't feel oversized like some other larger SUVs can. Plus, it has good safety and technology. I gave it a family rating of 7.9 out of 10, and my kids gave it an 8. They love sitting in the back seat far away from the parents. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or click through to our website.